What is up, folks? Once again, is your boy Turk here again with another interview / heights frequency type deal. We're talking about all the changes coming to ESG football, and we got some of the playtesters / stream team members here live to talk about their experiences and some of the changes coming from PC to PS5. First and foremost, we got Stick God right here. Introduce yourself, give us a little bit of backstory, insight about who you are, what brings you to ESG football.
All right, so some of y'all might know me, some of y'all might not. I'm Stick Guy 16. I started content creation back in 2021 when Madden 22 came out. Mainly, my content was the yard. Madden 22 and Madden 23, I was the #1 ranked yard player, and Madden 24, I did a little bit of the yards / superstar showdown, but then I tried to kind of get away from that, and I just started mainly just playing regular Madden and stuff like that. But ESG definitely aligned with what I've been doing for years. So
fair enough. Next up, we got your bummy to me. What's up? Introduce yourself, background, where we can find you, links and all that jazz. Obviously for each of us will be provided, but let's hear it.
Well, socials across all platforms, your bummy to me. I started making content in like 2020, but I just been doing football recently because I started retiring from Madden and around Madden 18, Madden 19. That's when I stopped playing for a few years. Before that, I'm a little older, so Madden 10 through 13, I used to be ranked in the world in Madden, but Madden fell off to me, so I stopped. And then when I seen ESG, it was a no-brainer that I had to link up with them. So that's what we did.
Bet. And of course, we got Cypher Gang. We got the young blood here. Cypher Gang, go ahead, introduce yourself, background, and what you bring to the table and thoughts.
Yeah, my name's Cypher. I'm a young content creator. I don't got that many subscribers, but it's cool. Subscribe to me on my YouTube.
Subscribe to my YouTube. Cypher, it's for those that don't know, Cypher has actually been playing. I think you've played in each playtest, no? Have you played in each of the playtests?
Yeah, I played in all. Yeah, I played in all of them.
So really experienced in a lot of what's been going on with the game and a lot of the changes, and honestly pretty in touch with the community. I've been playing and talking to a lot of the people in the ESG Discord. So we have two honestly really good credible sources of information for what's going on with the beta and a lot of the improvements. So with all that being out of the way, let's hop into some of these questions and let's hear how some of the changes been made since the PC beta onto the first quarter beta. First and foremost, I'll present this one to Stick, and then Cypher, I'll let you go in right after him. I want to ask, how would you compare your experience in the recent PS5 playtest and the first quarter beta playtest to the PC playtest? And in terms of changes, what do you think changed the most coming out of the beta? Like, what do you think was more different from PC to PS5?
okay, so the first thing I noticed off the bat was the change of direction as far as like running the ball, because it was a few people during the PC test that was able to get real loose running the ball, and I noticed that they nerfed that a lot. They nerfed that a lot from the PC test.
Yeah, that was a big problem.
And yeah, they're definitely trying to make it the most balanced football game as possible. And that's one thing I could say, like, it's not really no meta to the game. Like, they're always working on just making it balanced. So everyone has different type of builds to run. They don't want, one person is using one build. So I would say that's really the main thing I noticed. They're still going to keep adjusting it as,
As it
more
goes on,
betas
so
are being.
yeah. I heard they were
So
making some configuration changes. I wasn't sure if I heard something along the lines of in the future if they're making some changes to where when instead of lobbing the ball, instead of tapping it, you hold like LT. So there's going to be like, I know in
yep.
like a lot of the other previous games in Madden, like if you would lob the ball, you just tap or you hold it, rifle it. But now it's like you could tap, hold, rifle, or it's like then there's like targeting with LT that they're looking at adding into. So a lot more dynamic stuff going into that too. I was hoping to see some of that, but I don't know if a lot of people got a lot of QB gameplay. And what about you, Cypher?
My take on it would be that basically the game runs smoother, especially if you have a potato PC like myself. My PC is actually terrible. So, the PS5 really showed me like how good the game can really run on,
Yeah,
especially
true,
like
true.
graphics that the PS5 has. And I just feel like, and also like the gameplay, it felt really smooth. The tackling felt really smooth. Like it wasn't like no stuttering in between like plays and
I
stuff like
noticed
that.
that
So
in the
yeah, I
first
just
in the
felt like it was
PC
really
beta.
good.
Sometimes whenever you tackle, there'd be like a slight. It would seem like kind of like magnetic almost in a sense. Like whenever the
Yeah.
animation starts, so like you try to start a tackling animation, and then another one could potentially start like at the exact same time. Like you'd start a tackle. And it wasn't like you cancel an animation. It was almost like stopping the other animation. So that's actually pretty dope that you see a little bit of improvement on that side as well. So going into this the PS5 test, obviously Bummy has had experience in the PC. Like honestly, I think you've played in all of them, if I'm not mistaken. You've played in the PC playtest all the way up to PS5.
Yeah.
And so going into this one, did you notice any improvements in the QB mechanics that really stuck out to you in particular? Like the throwing on the run or velocity, accuracy, or anything like that? What felt different going into the QB game from PC to PS5?
Uh, it was pretty similar as far as playing quarterback. As far as the mechanics go, everything was pretty much the same. It was no changes made.
But see, now the thing that we were talking about, I think a little bit earlier with Stick was like whenever the pocket presence and like compared to a game like Madden where I guess you don't have that. You don't have as much actual pressure hitting you, you know what I'm saying? It's a different feeling whenever you have actual users like barreling down on you comparatively. What would you draw comparatively from the pocket presence feeling in Madden to the pocket presence in ESG? What do you think creates that different atmosphere?
So to answer that question I gotta answer it with two parts. So if we playing 4v4, for example, if it's AI, the dynamic completely change if we playing 7v7 with all users. Me personally, when I was playing 7v7, for the most part, my offensive linemen knew what they were doing, so I had way more time in the pocket versus when I was playing against AI. But compared to Madden, since we was only playing 7v7, I can only compare not apples to apples, kind of like apples to pears, but for the most part, it's you got to get the ball out quick. You gotta know your reads. There's no sitting in the pocket all day if you're going against a team to know what they're doing, because the main thing is pressure. If you're getting pressured in ESG, you got to get the ball out fast, and you got to be in the same page with your receivers.
Facts. That was key, at least for the PC beta. Whenever I was playing, I remember hearing a lot of stuff about playing on PS5. They said a lot of the catches were coming out in dives, so people were kind of shying a little bit away from the past game just a little bit in this play test. But I know on PC, whenever we were talking earlier, like seeing that the opportunity to play different play styles, it's not like everybody has. You can't just scramble out of every situation. Like whenever you're talking about it being 7v7 or 4v4, I noticed in 7v7, I guess you could say there's a lot more abstract play styles like available there. Like whenever like somebody did break a tackle or something like that, you knew you had that opportunity to break that angle, because obviously AI always takes those perfect pursuit angles. And I think the more that we see that development into just a fully user-driven experience, we'll be able to provide a lot more better perspective on the differences between those two experiences for sure. But honestly, right now, even in 7v7, for me personally, it already it felt great. Like, and that blew my mind that the 7v7 felt so polished compared to the 4v4. Like, I think the standard process, at least me thinking about it, is like, all right, 4v4 is going to be a little bit more smooth, but it was strange because the 7v7 it felt great. Like, it went smooth. It didn't feel like there was anything crazy going on. And I'm curious how they even, how do you reach that perfect formula where like less is more and more is less in a way? It seemed like the 7v7 was smoother with more people.
I feel the reason why the 7v7 was more smoother is because we were in a contained atmosphere. So we had 7 teammates that knew exactly what we were supposed to do, and it was easy for us to line up. You know what I'm saying? Even then, it was took a little time for everybody to ready up. But let's say the game dropped and it's just 7 random people, that'll probably be a little more chaotic than how we had it structured in the beta. So
yeah, I agree. I'm gonna have to agree on that 100%. Let's see. So, did you play any running back nonetheless in the PS5 playtest?
I play receiver, but I play running back in the PC. Yeah, I play receiver, DB mostly in this new playtest.
Okay, so now that's actually good because honestly DB and when wideout, I was really enjoying wideout. For the catching and stuff like that, I know previous playtests they had mentioned making some changes to the jumping animation. Did you notice any of the changes going into the catching? Like, I used to laughing. How did you feel about playing wideout this playthrough?
it was impossible to not notice the changes. What I can say is um I didn't make a receiver that was like Randy Moss or Calvin Johnson. My receiver was more like a Tyreek Hill build.
Okay.
So I wasn't doing the crazy catches, you know what I'm saying? But since my dude was shorter, I was triggering the dive catches that you was talking about.
Okay.
So that was the changes that I seen for the most part. Yeah.
Now, overall, do you
The
think
animation.
they're doing a good job balancing like positionally? Was there anything in particular that stuck out where you're like, all right, that for sure, aside from the catching animations that you felt like, all right, this is definitely something that might need to look into going forward?
Of course, PC beta, we already knew about the Jackrabbit, so they addressed that pretty much.
Oh, that's
For the receiving portion, I would have to say the addition to like the tall 7 foot 95 jumping, they have to tone that down a little bit because it's ridiculous. Like it don't matter if you 5'10", 5'11", you getting mossed. You know what I'm saying? And they already addressed it. They said they was gonna tone it down, but other than that, nah. For the most part, it was pretty smooth. Other than the bugs that's known already.
okay.
Yeah, it was fun. It was pretty
Yeah,
smooth.
that's definitely good to hear. Because truth be told, I feel like they're doing a solid job with the development process. Given the team that they have, man, and what they've managed to put together in such a small time frame, I'm honestly extremely impressed. I think it's kind of strange that like we have it felt like such a finished product. It's like it's definitely something that you would see people already release nowadays. Like in the current gaming climate, the game that we have played, for me personally, is an easy early access. For like, you know what I'm saying? Like for it being such an individual experience, I would 100%, I would pay to have that game early access. That's just me personally. If you told me I could hop on and have the option, like to do that, I would. So I'm really impressed with the changes that they've been making nonetheless. I want to ask, how would you compare your experience in the recent PS5 playtest and the first quarter beta playtest to the PC playtest? And in terms of changes, what do you think changed the most coming out of the beta? Like, what do you think was more different from PC to PS5?
Okay, so the first thing I noticed off the bat was the change of direction as far as like running the ball, because it was a few people during the PC test that was able to get real loose running the ball, and I noticed um that they nerfed that a lot. They nerfed that a lot from the PC
Yeah,
test,
that was a big problem.
and yeah, they're definitely trying to make it the most balanced football game as possible. And that's one thing I could say, like, it's not really no meta to the game. Like they're always working on just making it balanced. So everyone has different type of builds to run. They don't want, one person just using one build. So I would say that's really the main thing I noticed. And they're still gonna keep adjusting it as,
As it
more
goes on, stuff
betas are
like
being
that. I heard they were
so
making some configuration changes. I wasn't sure if I heard something along the lines of in the future they're gonna if they're making some changes to where when instead of lobbing the ball, instead of tapping it, you hold like LT. So there's gonna be like, I know in
yep.
like a lot of the other previous games in Madden, like if you would lob the ball, you just tap or you hold it, rifle it. But now it's like you could tap, hold, rifle, or it's like then there's like targeting with LT that they're looking at adding into. So a lot more dynamic stuff going into that too. I was hoping to see some of that, but I don't know if a lot of people got a lot of QB gameplay. What about you, Cypher?
My take on it would be that basically the game runs smoother, especially if you have a potato PC like myself. My PC is actually terrible. So, the PS5 really showed me like how good the game can really run on,
Yeah,
especially
true,
like
true.
graphics that the PS5 has. And I just feel like, and also like the gameplay, it felt really smooth. The tackling felt really smooth. Like it wasn't like no stuttering in between like plays or stuff
I
like
noticed
that.
that
So
in the
yeah, I
first
just
in the
felt like it was
PC
really
beta.
good.
Sometimes whenever you tackle, there'd be like a slight. It would seem like kind of like magnetic almost in a sense. Like whenever the
Yeah.
animation starts, so like you try to start a tackling animation, and then another one could potentially start like at the exact same time. Like you'd start a tackle, and it wasn't like you cancel an animation. It was almost like stopping the other animation. So that's actually pretty dope that you see a little bit of improvement on that side as well. So now jumping, obviously we have a lot of experience on this. Now moving all the way into the PS5 beta, like having all the experience that you have now, what do you think going forward, what feels the most different about ESG from an experience like Madden or a 2K? Other than obviously it is user driven, so you do have that. You're thinking that you're controlling an individual player, but what do you think you have to consider more so in ESG or in terms of playing it than you would in Madden? What's your takeaway from playing ESG so far?
You definitely have to come in with a real strategy. Like, for example, like people that play Superstar Showdown, a lot of them run very similar things. It's not the same thing, and it's just who can do it better.
Yeah.
Versus ESG is different styles of play, and I really love
That's
that.
the
It's
thing that
it's
I
so
noticed at
diverse.
first when I like the diversity of the builds. It wasn't like it doesn't seem like the money play is there. It's almost like I don't know.
Hmm.
It's kind of strange because with it being that first open world experience and having builds, it's hard to even say like what's quote unquote good. Like it's like
Right,
it's so hard to articulate. Like you have to be good at what you're trying to be good at. If a lot of like trying
right.
to like explain that to somebody, like if you're a smotherer or if you're a good DB, it's not about all right, line up and cover two in this formation and we got it. It's like you still have to meet that role. I think that for me personally, that it's just so different than the other games.
Yeah, most definitely. Like, and even you have to play different for other people. Like, even one different person, it could change the whole play style of the team. Like, it
Yep.
is very critical of you got to know how to play with everybody on your team. That's a big thing with ESG. Like, you have to know what everybody's doing or how they play. You got to adjust to that. So,
What was the big takeaway for you? What do you think, Cypher, is the largest difference from playing other games, other football games, compared to ESG? What do you think is the completely different? Like, it's a real curveball that hit you whenever you started playing, especially in the newer beta. What has changed the most for you?
I feel like I changed the most for me playing the game has been like the build system and the type, because this game is very the controls are very difficult and not like Madden where you have to click just a single button. You actually have to like try and these controls, and then like you can still get tackled, and like it's like the skill sets, because like you can't just make a overpowered build like you can in Madden, especially right now that they let you make your build a 99 and you have 99 everything maxed out. You can't do that in ESG, and I just feel like that's kind of a game changer. So no one can really complain that they can't make a tackle when they have zero tackling, or no one can catch when they have zero catch. I mean, everything is just fair. And it's,
That's
it's not
facts.
like you can't say nothing is fair because you made your build like that.
No, that's facts. I honestly, I think that's the part that I'm looking forward to most about the game, and I think I'm hoping that that's the appeal for most people because it seems it's like a completely different approach, man. And like I emphasize it a lot, and a lot of the times I talk about ESG and stepping from other games. Like I usually don't play sports games, but the idea of making your own character, that's just so tough. Like just made like, and Stick even already knows like he's bro has something special in the game already, so it's just tough to have a game where you're really about to make your own character, go out there, but it's football, you know what I mean? It's almost like whenever I played the PC beta, I really didn't have much to complain about, and whenever I saw a lot of the conjecture in the ESG Discord, it just seemed all positive, you know what I mean? And just like a quick little thing for the people that are watching, we'll post a link in the description for basically it's like a waiting room that you can hop into, and there will be like a questionnaire that you have to fill out. Basically, it's like a test to have your opportunity to get into the beta test right now. As of the day they were recording this, I think it's Tuesday. And if I'm not mistaken, there's another playtest coming up. Is it this weekend or next weekend? Is it
yeah,
this?
this
This
weekend.
Yeah,
weekend.
this weekend on PS5. So we'll post that link somewhere down, somewhere down for you guys to, hopefully get in and fill out that questionnaire as well. But for me, that experience of being able to create your own character is completely, separate, and I feel like whenever you play a game like Madden, obviously you have the NFL license. So it seems like a lot of the stuff still leans more towards that rather than individualization of yourself. But this is taking that whole Fortnite approach where you're making your own character, you got skins that you're going to be able to unlock. And it sounds kind of strange, but I'm really curious to see where they go with that service model, with like a live service type model. It's gonna be free to play, but you got skins and stuff like that. And I'm low key a sucker for like drip, so it's like the free to play games get more money out of me than like the $60 games do. You know what I mean? And for a game that's been as fun as ESG has, I think that's gonna be something that they could really establish a lot of good relationships with, like with brands and people that I feel like really need to hop on this game. Like there's a lot of athletes and stuff that I'm surprised that I haven't seen in the beta, that I haven't seen contact people that I really think they'd probably have a chance at seeing a better picture of it than I would if they'd be like, hey man, I'm interested. You know, if you could see the opportunity that you guys have to invest in this, I highly recommend it. If there's anybody out there watching this right now that's a football fanatic that wants to create your own character, something like that, look at this description, get in the waiting room, contact some of the people at ESG, find a way to get involved, because I'm telling you, this game is about to be revolutionary. But that's kind of like a little breakthrough, just really to let you guys know that this is about to be something different. So as of right now, what is one piece of feedback that you personally would give the developers if you had the opportunity to for ESG football, you know, given your experience playing in the PC beta and the PS5 beta now?
One piece of advice I would say, just keep finding ways to make the game as balanced as possible. Like, for example, um, the short fast players. Oh, here's another big thing I noticed that they did, and Cypher could attest to that too. So with the 5-5 builds, the short ones that are really fast, a lot of them, um, as far as like being able to be like route
shifty?
runners and stuff. Yeah, no, not shiftiness, but as far as like catching the ball, a lot of them couldn't catch the ball
Okay.
like because
Yeah.
like they would like do this little dive attempt
Okay.
and they would be
Yeah.
yeah, like it was a lot of times people came up short on the ball as far as like trying to catch it with the short builds.
Oh,
So
okay, like solely because they were short. It seemed
mhm.
as
Yeah,
if
so
like,
they
okay, I see what you mean.
so they added more of a penalty for being shorter and faster because
That seemed like one of the big trade-offs in the PC. Like whenever I played the first two PC play tests, it seemed like that 5.5 to like 5.9, you know, 5.9 to 5.5 to 5.9 range. You'd see a lot of people around there like 150 to 160, 170, and I feel like definitely like you're saying. For me personally, I feel like it's definitely the balancing. Like I feel like attacking the balancing is definitely something that's at least like if I had a personal recommendation, it would be at the core of that would definitely be the balancing. So I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think whenever you have a game, I feel like it has to be extremely difficult though. I feel like it's easy to say, you know, to balance, but whenever you have so many different stat allocations, like when you have patroller contributes to smother, you know, if something like one contributes to strafing, one contributes to your sprint, your agility, your tackling, like there's so many different things that go into this game that I feel like a lot of people aren't even expecting. You know, it's almost like, at least whenever I look at it, it's almost like unlocking sliders for an individual character. You know what I mean? So you're like, you're improving your character at a certain rate, and the rate that you improve your characters, it really determines what you're going to be able to do on that field. And I think whenever you're going into balance with something that's going to have such a competitive nature, it's headed by obviously Ray and Lamont. They're so competitive. I think sticking to that is definitely going to be, you know, the main source of is something they really need to stick to. Nonetheless, what about you, Cypher? What do you think?
Can attest to what Stick was saying. Basically the shorter builds, they dive for the ball a lot more, but also, you know, I feel like they definitely are trying to fix like stuff like that. Like so, like they're trying to fix it where basically you don't dive for the ball like every time, because you know we are play testing the game. The game's not like fully, you know,
Of course,
polished
still
or
work in
anything.
progress. Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So, you know, I feel like, and also I feel like, um, Take, I don't think you were there for like the 7-foot build. Stick, were you there when Lamont started using the 7-foot build?
oh, I forgot. I was the one. Yeah, those are pretty OP, but then again, defense they're not good defense. So it's a trade off with everything. That's what I'm saying. Like the balance, they're doing pretty good with balancing the game out. Like it's not one thing that could just really do everything really. So
I remember
but yeah,
the 7-foot lane stuffer. It was like the O line. A lot of people wanted like 6 foot something lane stuffer. I think this will probably be something pretty good to close out on, at least like to kind of bring more people to at least understand the vision of the game. Lastly, I'll hit this one to Cypher first. If you could tell someone who hasn't played ESG football the reason why they should be excited, what would you say? If you had to explain to somebody the main reason why they need to give ESG football a reason, you know, to play it, what would that reason be?
I would say that reason should be because it's not. I'm not gonna say it's not Madden. Because, well, I think that people should start getting away like a little bit from Madden and getting used to like somewhere basically it's user controlled. and it's skill. It takes skill.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
I feel like I feel like it would really improve your gaming skill as a whole, as you just improve like your stick weight. It can improve your definitely your football IQ. It can improve
Absolutely.
you will learn like way more about the position since it's user controlled instead of AI doing it for you.
I agree. I'm gonna have to agree on that for real. I think that's the main appeal to it for me is like rather than it having so much of that AI reliance, like as much as you want to play a one-on-one in Madden, it almost kind of spoils Madden. Not like it doesn't ruin it, but it's like damn, like I'm really not playing against. You know what I'm saying? It's not really like 11
Right.
on 11. Like it's just me and then I switched to this dude or so. You know what I'm saying? But what would you say, Stick? If you were presented with that same question, what would you say?
I would say that we've never had a football game like this, and I've seen a lot of people try to compare it to the Yard Superstar Showdown. It is not the same. Like, it is completely different. Like, once you play it, you'll understand it's not the same thing at all. It is two completely different things. It is like I said, we never had a football game like this, and for it to be pretty realistic too, like it leans way more in the simulation side of football, but it's still fun and it's all users. So
Yeah,
like
it's
I
like a
never
crazy
had a
mix of arcade and realism. It is. I never thought about
yeah
it like that for real. I never really thought about
yeah
like it's
yeah
simulation, but
like
it's so fun.
yeah like I would tell anybody like it's more simulation than arcade, at least to me. I feel like it leans way more in the simulations side, but at the same time, it's still very fun. And that's one thing I was a little worried about. If they leaned too much on the simulation side, would
Yeah,
it be boring? But they still was able to make it fun, and that's
yeah,
a big thing. So that's what I would tell people. And like I said, it's all user too. It's
yeah.
not like the Yard. It's not like Showdown. It's its own thing. It's its own unique experience that you can't get from any other game. You can't
You
get it from
can't
college
replicate
football.
that.
You can't replicate that.
Yeah, you
Mm-mm.
really can. I'm gonna have to agree on that. If you guys have any closing points or anything, because I mean, obviously we could talk about this forever, but it's kind of hard to fully articulate everything and like keep it within a reasonable time frame, nonetheless. Because this game really does offer so much, folks. I wish we were able to like show more rather than this, but luckily we were able to get some of the people that did play in the PS5 beta play test to get some actual firsthand experience from PC to PS5. With that being said, like I said, we had Sticks stuff in the description right at the beginning. We'll have all of his stuff in the links down below, as well as Cypher's. Obviously, it's Turk here at SGN. If you're looking for any ESG news, be sure to follow me, Cypher, Stick, all of us. Some of the people that you see that have been posting a lot, you'll more than likely see them in some of these future interviews of people that are getting their experiences in with the game. But with that being said, it's been your boy. Peace.